What's up, Chef? What's poppin', huh?
Yeah, buddy.
You gotta hit me. You gotta hit me with the New York. Yeah.
Yeah. What's good?
What's poppin'?
What's
Huh?
poppin', buddy?
What's going on with you?
Nah, man, chilling. What's good with you?
For those who don't know who up in right now, we got Chef Tisha slash ex-Army vet in the building.
Hey, you know what it is.
Gotta
Pow,
give
pow,
it to
pow,
you.
pow.
Oh, you want? Hey,
There you go, right there.
everybody know what's up. Everybody know what's up.
That's the club.
So, Chef, Chef, where you located at?
I'm in the DMV, Washington, D.C. area. It's
Oh,
good.
oh,
Chocolate City, Chocolate City.
that's what they call it, Chocolate City.
We out here, Chocolate City.
Shout out
They
to
trying,
Chocolate City, aka
they trying,
DMV.
they trying to make it the vanilla city now.
They trying to make it the what?
They trying to make it the vanilla city now.
Oh, gentrification,
We not,
gentrification. No,
we
no,
not about to let that
no.
happen though. We not
No,
about to
no,
let that
no. I got a sound for gentrification. We don't like that. We don't like
happen.
that.
Nah, man, nah. What's good with you, man?
Nothing much. So listen, I want to touch base because I always got to shout out to my vets, man. I served my 3.5 years in the army. Wasn't for me. It wasn't
Yeah,
for me. And how many years you did?
I did 11, man, 11. I didn't want to get out, but
Shit. I don't
hey,
know how you did
man.
that. I don't know how you did it, man.
Hey, listen, man. It's by the grace of God. You feel me? Like it be one of those things, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it's either for you or it's not. You know what I'm saying? You gotta. It's just something that was. It's like an acquired taste. It's like eating caviar. You feel me? Sometimes it's good, and sometimes it's not.
Yeah, man. I mean, listen, man. Shout out to Fort Campbell, Kentucky. I got a shout out to all my boys out there. My boy Heather, my boy Sellers, my boys Barnett. I mean, we go by last name, so I call them by the last names. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Facts, facts. I
Shout out,
definitely get
shout out to the Third Brigade Rocket Sounds, man. One more time for y'all. Screaming
that.
Eagles.
Hey.
Hey. So where were you stationed at?
Oh man, so my first duty station was at Fort Hood, and
Ooh,
soon as I got to Fort Hood, they were like, "Oh yeah, guess what? You're about to go to Hawaii." What? Cool.
lady,
I thought,
lady.
hey, look, I was with it, but you know what I'm saying. I also played basketball, so I was trying to be on the All Army basketball team. So that was my goal. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted to do. So I played for a little while, and then, stopped doing that, and then it was time for get ready for like really doing my job. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So I had a job. I was a 92 Alpha. I got tired of that shit. And I was like,
Hmm.
nah, man, I re-enlisted for the school option to be a surgical
Hmm.
tech. So
Okay.
I wanted to be smart, you know what I'm saying? I knew I wanted something in the medical field. And so that's what I did. I re-enlisted. I went to Fort Sam, and then I went into, be a surgical tech, and that's what I ended up doing. And, that was where all my deployment started to happen, you know what I'm saying? So,
Hold up. How you go
yeah.
to Fort Sam Houston and you got deployed? I thought that shit was non deployable.
Nah, boy, no, not at all. Fort Sam Houston, man, you going. You going. If you in
Damn.
the medical field, you going
Where
like,
you
and then
going?
like, so it's like it's okay. So it's two parts of it though. It's like, either you in the medical side, which is the hospital side, or you on, well, you know how MASH used to be. You
Mm-hmm.
on that. I was on the MASH part. You
You
feel
was on the
me?
other side. You was on the other
Yeah.
side.
hmm They was like, oh yeah, what I'm saying, you used to be a ground soldier. I'm like, oh, well, okay, whatever that means. Yeah, we can do that. So
Hmm.
we did that, and I went to Seattle, and then from Seattle, they was like, "Yeah, we about to deploy." And I was like, "Oh, all right, no big deal." And that's right around the time Hurricane Katrina had hit,
Hmm.
and I was supposed to be like, I wasn't even the supervisor. My supervisor, her family got displaced, so she ended up not having to go. So they were like, well, we looking for, at this time I was like an E5 promotable. And they
Hmm.
was like, well, it's an E6, E7 slot. So we need somebody in that position. So they was gonna try to grab somebody else. My supervisor was like, nah, Sergeant Smith can do it. And I'm like, shit, you sure? You know what I'm saying? Like, she was like, no, she
Man,
was
get
like,
that pay grade. Get
yeah,
that pay
she
grade.
was like, everything, she was like, you're very, versatile, you're a great sergeant, you know what I'm saying? She was like, we're gonna send you in there. So I was sitting in the E7 slot. So I
Hmm.
was being rated at E5 promotable at an E7 slot. And when I got there, it was just like, it was crazy because like I was signed to like $1 billion worth of equipment. You know
Mm,
what I'm saying? I had 22 soldiers underneath of me, not to
mm,
mention the officers, man. It was crazy. Like my first 3 days in Iraq, man, we had a bomb, man. It bombed the shit up. You know what I'm saying? Dead bodies everywhere and shit. So it was like, it was crazy for me. You know what I'm saying? So
mm.
it was just like a whole scenario. So like it affected me a lot because like I really honestly only seen dead bodies. And when you go over there, like you thinking, oh, we about to save these American soldiers and all this other shit. And that wasn't even it, bro. Like we over there saving insurgents, you know what I'm saying, to get information and, stuff like that. So it was real wild, man.
I can't
And then like,
I can't talk about my experience on
yeah.
T on IG. I got to talk to you on the side.
Yeah, yeah,
I got to
a
talk.
lot of yeah,
I can't talk about it
a
on
lot,
live.
a
Hey,
lot of the stuff that happened, I can never say on here because I would be honestly put in a position where, you know what I'm
you
saying,
might
I
get
could
in
probably,
trouble.
yeah, I might get in trouble. Yeah,
Some boys gonna pull up to your door and it's gonna be a
yeah. They pull up
problem.
my door, they go in the backyard. You feel me?
Yo, so but that pay grade must have been nice though. You
Yeah,
know,
man, that pay was real nice, man. It was real nice, but
that's two steps right there. That you took the elevator right there. Ain't nothing wrong with
yeah,
that. Goddamn it, ain't
yeah,
nothing wrong
man.
with that.
Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? And then it was like, it was cool because, like, I was still maintaining, you know what I'm saying, like basketball, playing all the sports while I was over there just to
Mm,
keep my sanity. But it was just like, it was kind of hard because, like, my soldiers was going through so much stuff, you know what I'm saying? So you think, like, I'm only going to be dealing with my problems and my problems only. And it was never even like that. It was like, just imagine you dealing with your problems and then having to do with 22 other problems on the side. You feel what I'm saying? Then you got like 7 officers over top of you, and then they
mm,
don't, like, a lot of these officers, the doctors that's coming in there, they not like ready for that. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them only been in the army for like 2 or 3 years. Like I had a doctor pass out during the surgery. You feel me? We dragged him out. Like, he wasn't ready for that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the soldiers came in, that was their first time being there. They was like 19, 20 years old. You feel me? They just the
seeing
babies, you know?
that shit for the first time fucked them up.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can't blame them from that. You know what I'm saying? That's wild.
yeah.
What
But
years you in there? What years you in there?
I went in, was 99, 99. Yep. I went in right on Veterans Day too.
And you got out
I just got out in
in
2015, 16. Yeah, I got a medical
Nah,
retirement.
I'm telling you, man, I feel like I see you somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I was in Hawaii. I was at Fort Sam Houston. I was
what
at
year?
the
What year were you
hood.
in? What year were you in Sam Houston? Did you
Um,
say 08, 09?
it had to been like 8 or 9.
I
Yeah,
saw you.
because
I saw you. I saw you.
I was there.
I
I was
saw you.
there.
I'm telling you, I feel like I seen you.
I used to
Because
ride the motor. I used to be on a motorcycle all the time.
I was stationed in Fort Lackland because I was in I was in the
Hey, you
language
probably
program.
did see
You know
me.
what I'm saying?
Y'all
I'm trying
had
to
all the
tell you.
bad. Y'all had all the bad joints over in
I'm trying to
Lackland.
tell you. I feel like I see you. I'm telling you, I'm like, yo, she look mad familiar. I see you
Yeah.
somewhere, bro. And
Yeah, Lackland. I definitely spent a lot of time in Lackland. And my aunt
uh,
lives in
you,
Converse, so I never lived on the base.
mm,
So
no, but I'm telling you, man, I
I
feel like
stayed in Converse. You
I
probably
went to
did.
Sam Houston a
I used
couple
to
of
date
times.
some.
I went to Sam Houston a
I used
couple
to
of times.
date, and I played basketball too. So you probably did. You know what I'm saying? Like at
I'm
Lackland,
telling
I
you,
used
man,
to
that's
be up Lackland
wild.
all the time.
That's
I
wild. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, when I was going through your profile, I'm like, hold up, yo. I've seen it somewhere, man. I'm telling you, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I played on the post basketball team. So you definitely probably did see me because we
Mm.
played a lot at Lackland. A lot of our
Yo,
games were up Lackland.
well, before we get onto chef shit, I want to talk real quick about
Yeah,
this real quick. Now that
yeah,
we're here and we family now, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to that,
yeah.
goddammit.
You
You know what I'm
know,
saying?
family
Yo,
over everything. Let's go.
so the flag system in Lackland fucked me up.
Yeah.
So I was in the army, and I was there with the Air Force people. These flags will go up, yellow, red, and black.
Mm,
It's the heat now, depending on the heat,
right.
bruh. If the black flag was up, Air Force wouldn't be out. You think the army give a fuck?
Nah, not at
Nah,
all. We out
nah.
there.
We out
Out
there.
there.
Sit-ups, push-ups. You know what I'm saying?
Out
So,
there. Don't
flood of
care.
kicks, flood of kicks, half right face. You know what I'm saying? Woo. Anyway, man, all right, you
Yeah.
brought back so much memories, man. So how did you get into cooking? How did you get into the
Man,
cake?
like, all right, so for cooking, like, all right, so like I said, I was a surgical tech. So like I said, everything that surrounded me was like all surgeries. So particularly when we used to do surgeries, a lot of our patients used to have burns. So we dealt with the burn. I had worked in a burn unit at the time. So what they would do, they would come back. You know what I mean? So you would always see this patient, and when there were burns, it's always a repetitive thing. They come
Mm-hmm.
back, and it has this distinctive smell. You know what I'm saying? And so it got to the point where I was just like, it smells weird, and I'd be like so fucked up, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you
And
couldn't.
then yeah, I couldn't. And so when I came home, I got fucked up while I was over there. So when I came home, um, it took a long time for me to just be normal again. You know what I'm saying? Like I couldn't eat, like I would not eat red meat because of the blood. You know what I'm saying? Like every time I cook red meat, I'd be like, nah, that shit made me think of, you know what I'm saying, seeing somebody on the table. You know what I mean? Just certain smells and, different things. So what ended up happening was I had this therapist and we were doing one-on-one therapy, and it was a trauma therapist. And what she would do was she would tell me, she was like, okay, so it's certain things we know that you don't like to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. So she would tell me, go to the grocery store and you buy a pack of hamburger meat and you're going to cook that pack of hamburger meat. I'm like, cook this pack of hamburger meat? Are you crazy? Like, I'm not about to do that. That shit stink. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not for that. But she was like, well, this is trauma therapy, and if you don't want to do it, then you might as well just not be here because that means you don't want to, be right. I'm
She kept
like,
it a buck.
man, yeah, she did. And I wanted to curse her out, but I'm like, well, she doing her job. You feel me? Like, so you know how the train system situation work, and I had like a problem with like claustrophobic and being on a train or being around people. I had even problems with like even going to my own mailbox. You know what I'm saying? So it
So
was a lot of things that I did not want to do. I didn't want to get out of the bed. There was times where I didn't want to like shower. I didn't want to, I didn't want to be around anybody. I wouldn't
it
walk
was
my
real. It
dog.
was really real.
It was, yeah, the PTSD was
PTSD was
super,
real.
super real. You know what I'm saying?
So
Like,
sorry that you had to deal with that. You know what I'm saying
yeah, and
that.
it was wild because like to the point where like I would have guns, in my house, and like one day my brother walked in, he was drunk, and I ain't know, who it was, and I'm just like guns
Yeah,
up. You feel what I'm
guns
saying?
up.
Like, and and that kind of alarmed me. Like, yo, you need to get help. You know what I mean? So, by me getting help, it was like just being, in a point where like I was tired. You know what I'm saying? I was tired of being, this person, and it was never me because I was never like that. You know what I'm saying? I was always that outgoing
Yeah.
person, played sports all my life. I was always a team player, always having the ball, the class clown, you know what I mean? Jokester. So that wasn't me. And I wanted to get back to me. But what I realized doing therapy was like, I would never be back to that person because that person was long gone. So I had to build on who I could be now. So it got to the point where, my therapist was like, you have to deal with knowing how to be mindful. And I'm like, what the hell is she talking about? You know what I mean? That was in my mind. Like, what the hell is she talking about? She was like, well, basically, when you get in the shower, are you just washing your body? And I'm like, yeah, who ain't getting in the shower to wash their body? You know what I'm saying? She was like, no, what you need to do is get in the shower and actually feel the water hitting against your body. And I'm like, oh, okay. She was like, and then I want you to let me know how that made you feel. I'm like, this is weird as shit. You know what I mean? Then she said, now, do you drink coffee? Do you drink tea? I said, I like tea. She said, well, what do you drink tea for? I was like, because it tastes good. She was like, no, but are you mindful of how it tastes when it goes down your throat? Are you mindful? I'm like, she's like, do you smell the herbs before you do it? I'm like, I don't do nothing. I just drink the shit, put the honey in, and then keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So it made me to be very, very mindful, which in turn helped me being in the kitchen. So I went to school for photography and videography at the Art Institute. And while I was there, I was taking a food photography class. So it was real cool. I had good teachers, and then I started, linking with the chefs that was in there and watching the chefs. And I'm like, dang, like, y'all really in here. First of all, I was intrigued by the food. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, this shit is good.
Absolutely.
So I started talking to this little joint that was in there. I was like, yeah, hey, what's up? You know what I'm saying? Sneak me some of that, sneak me some of that food out. You know what I'm saying? And, it's always about money. I was like, sneak me some of that food. You feel me? Like, now I take the pictures of it. We could both, you know what I'm saying? We could both get a good grade. You know what I'm saying? I take the pictures and
Absolutely.
I use it for my project, and you can get the pictures and you can use it for your project. So that hit up real well. So I would used to stay after school just to do that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mhm.
then the chef would bring me in. And he'd be like, "Oh yeah, come in. Come talk to us." And they started talking to me about food. And so I was like, "Dang, maybe I took the wrong approach to this."
Mm.
So it was coming to the time where I was getting ready to graduate. So I graduated from school. I did photography about 6 years after that. What up, Alex? He was in school with me too. We was all in photography school, so yeah, he know. But it's like getting into that. I did the photography for 6 years, been published and all that other stuff, went viral for weddings and all kinds of stuff. And then it just got to the point where like I was getting ready to go back to school because I was like, man, shit, I got my GI Bill still left. It's
Mhm.
about to be winter time. I ain't trying to be outside taking pictures in the cold. Let me figure out what I'm gonna do. So I'm sitting around, I'm talking to my nephew. I'm like, bro, like I'm about to go back to school for videos. And he was like, shit, you could learn that on YouTube, or I could teach you. I'm like, true. He was like, well, why don't you just do something that you really want to do? He was like, you like to cook, you like being in the kitchen. I'm like, facts, you're right. So I was like, I started looking at, schools with what I had left for my GI Bill. So I ended up going to Stratford University right here in Virginia.
Okay.
And I went up there. I literally just was going up there just to see what they had to say. Dog, I promise
And
you,
they got you.
whatever.
They got you.
I signed up the same damn day, bro. Like I literally signed up that same day. Like that was it for me. You feel me? So
Yeah.
that's my fourth. The fourth. This is the fourth degree that I was going into. So it was just like, all right, cool. I started going into it, but I went into the whole chef thing on a whole different mental level
Mm.
because I already knew how to cook because my mom used to leave us at home with a bag of potatoes and told us to just make it
Make
happen. You
it
know what I'm
happen,
saying?
baby. Make it
You feel
happen.
me? Like everybody having French fries. You know what I'm saying? I make the best mashed potatoes, the best French fries. You know what I'm saying? The best hash browns. Anybody, you know what I'm saying? Because that's what we had.
Got the
And then we was
potatoes,
making
yeah.
dog, you know what I'm saying? The honey and sugar toast, you feel me? Like all kinds of wild shit in the house because it's me and my nephews and my
Oh
brothers.
man.
Everybody gone for it's the summertime. All the kids used to come over our house. All the parents be gone. So, we doing all kinds of wild shit in the house. You feel me? But it was just like one of those things that I really like to cook, and then I like photography. So it was like I based everything that I did was on colors.
Mm.
Because colors, if you think about it, colors can make your day better or worse. And if you realize like certain colors have a meaning to them, you know what I'm saying? It can make you calm, you know what I'm saying? Red, it makes like I love red, I love blue, I love black, I love orange, but these are all colors that trigger people, you know what I'm saying, for certain things. Like red is supposed to be make you angry. Angry doesn't make me angry at all. I have a different take on it. Like red is one of those things that is a calming tone for me. So
Mm.
when people see that, they be like, "Oh, that's supposed to be you supposed to be angry when you see red." I'm like, I'm not angry at all. Like, oh, I'm fine. Well, maybe you're angry, but I'm not. It actually makes me happy. You know what I'm saying? So I got into that. So I got into the point where going to the Amish market and the farmers market and stuff like that, where I was able to just smell the fruit, be around those. So I would just watch all kinds of shows prior to me going into culinary school. So what I decided to do was look, all right, I took 4 months before I started. I said, I'm not gonna cook anything at all in the kitchen. I'm not making nothing. All I'm gonna do is watch cooking shows. I'm gonna read books until I get ready to start. So I didn't cook nothing. I would just order food. Like I wouldn't even cook oodles or noodles or nothing. You feel me?
Ain't never wrong cooking noodles and noodles, man. I
Oh,
be lacing my shit up though. I put bacon and I put some a little bit of ginger, some soy sauce. I lace my shit up. But continue though. Go ahead.
so I wouldn't cook anything. But then when I got into school, it was like I really locked down because I really wanted to make it happen. Um, I felt like I knew this was the last time that I was going to go to school, and I wanted to be on top of my game.
You
You know what
want
I'm
to make
saying?
it count. Yeah.
Yeah, and I knew that, like, I've been a class clown, all this other shit. I never really been on honor roll like that. So I probably made honor roll maybe like twice. Like eighth grade, ninth grade type shit. You feel me? Like, but
Uh, Never
I
for me. Go
really,
ahead.
I went, like, I literally went ham when I got to school. Like, I buckled down, I studied, and I graduated with like a 3.7, I think 3.76. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You
top
held
of
it
my
down. You
class.
held it down. You
Yeah,
held it down.
I shut it down. Like, the first time I got honor roll, and I was like, oh shit, I got honor roll. Maybe I can make the dean's list. Next time I did it, I made the dean's list, and I was like, fuck it, I can probably make the president's list. And then from there, I just kept going. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh yeah.
then I would just watch, and I had like a lot of people that I was mentored by that was already in the industry, where I was going to church, and my church, we would cook for the pastors. In the morning, we get up, we had to be there by 6 a.m. And we were cooking real live meals for the pastors for breakfast, lunch, and then they had like a take home dinner. So we'd be in there at 6 o'clock in the morning. Shout out to Chef JoJo. He works for Kitchen Crate Cafe out in DC under Chef JR
Yeah.
Robinson. That was
I,
that was
I
his.
had him on the
Yeah,
show. I had him on the
yeah.
show a few episodes ago, man. Good dude.
That's
Good dude.
my
Good
guy.
dude.
That's my guy, man. Like, you know, so I started, he mentored me, and the ways that, Chef JR mentored him, he mentored me the same way. And then, while I was in school, he would teach me things. I literally would come to church every Sunday just to cook. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? And so then it turned into meeting Chef Shannon, which under Frankie May Kitchen, she had a food truck. So I started working on a food truck. You feel me? And that was a whole different experience. So I was working on
It's
a
all
food truck
different era. Yeah.
and then working on and trucking. We was working like, festivals, not like just, we work on the street too, but we would work in festivals where the lines was wrapped around the block. You didn't, you know, it's to the point where you got the numbers, and then like you gotta be like A, B, C, or D, or E type. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like I remember one time I was like 101. They was like 101 what? A, B, C. I'm like, oh shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, all
Y'all was getting
right,
hit. Y'all was getting hit.
yeah,
Let me ask you
it
a
was,
question.
yeah.
Do you think that cooking helped out your PTSD?
So with that, I was gonna go into that. So for me, like, cooking has a whole different aspect for me. So when I get into the kitchen, like, nobody can stop me. Like, I'm in there, I have my music playing,
Yeah.
I'm zoned out. So when I think about stuff, like, it doesn't even start in the kitchen. That's the whole crazy part about it. It starts the process of me actually visualizing what I want to cook. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, like, I have to mentally be there before I can make anything. You know what I'm saying? So for instance, like, I just made these pineapple cilantro lamb chops.
Lamb chops. Yes, I saw that. Yes, I did.
Right. So I made them pineapple cilantro lamb
Cilantro
chops.
garnish. Yes, seen that.
So I'm looking at the joint. I'm like, damn, like, it's a night. But I knew it because I was like, man, the weather about to be dope. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, the grills. I was like, man, I want some lamb chops. So I'm like, pineapple, cilantro. It's always good together. I was like, man, I could put that on some lamb chops. And I'm thinking about what colors would go along with it, what things pair with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even cook it yet. I hadn't even been to the store yet. You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I started thinking about colors. I started thinking about what the palette what it would taste like, what type of marinade I needed to do. Like, I never had made it before, so you know what I'm saying? It was like this was the first time I ever had, did it. So I was like, I experimented with, the flavors, you know what I'm saying? And then knowing your palate. So I cook with my senses. I use all my senses.
So
And
you
a lot of
freestyled
people,
it. So you freestyled it before you got to the market.
I freestyled it in my mind. So for that, you know what I'm saying, it takes a lot out of your mental, because like for me, that's why I call it mental meals, because mentally I'm preparing myself before I go into doing anything. And I really honestly, like, my mind goes through so many changes from the time I, like, people will see me in the grocery store. I'll be listening to music the whole time I'm in the grocery store. And then I go from looking at colors because I'm big on photography. So I look about like, dang, I think about my plating. Like sometimes I'll draw up my plate before I even go in there. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
want to know what my plate. I look at the type of plates that I have in my house, and I'm like, all right, well, this the plate I really want to use, right? And I'll be like, damn, what colors go well on this plate? So then I'll be like, damn, when I go to the grocery store, I ain't just picking up shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like looking at it. I'll be like, all right, I'm inspecting it. I'm feeling it. I'm smelling it. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm like, all right, this one might be good. I think I'm gonna use this one. This is the best one. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
literally be looking, even at the cilantro, I'd be like, oh, no, this cilantro too wet. I don't want this one. You know what I'm saying? So I really be anal when I come to that, because it's like the end result is, if I cannot touch it, see it, smell it, it won't be right for me. So mentally, I'm saying to myself, like, I can't work with this or I can't work with that. If this portion isn't right, it's not going to work out right. And I'm a big overthinker. I'm an Aquarius. So at the end of the day, like, I'm thinking way beyond all the rest of that shit. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm-hmm.
done already had it plated in my head before I even bought the food. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking in my mind, I'm like, damn, like, so if I grill it, you know what I'm saying? What type of texture will it give me? If I marinate it for this amount of time, how will it taste? So, mentally, I'm always in my mind like, dang, like, what am I doing? So it actually takes myself into another level, because some days I may be stressed out. Some days, like, I might be dealing with my PTSD. Like, literally today, this lady tried to run me off the fucking road, bro. Like, I promise you. Like, my PTSD and my anxiety just went right through the roof. But then I was like, I was on my way to the grocery store. But as soon as I got to the grocery store, man, my mind just, it dropped from being up here to like right here. You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
So it was
that's
like being in there, it was like I felt like that was my happy place. And being in the kitchen is my happy place because nobody can touch me. And
mm-hmm.
when I'm in the kitchen, it's like I got my knives, I sharpen my knives, I take my time and do things. And it's like, to me, I'm cooking with love. I'm cooking with, I'm giving you every bit of part of me when I'm in that kitchen. It's not just, I don't rush nothing. People like, oh, I need this, blah, blah. Like, I'll get to your house. I'll tell people, like, you want me to come cook for you? Cool. I need 3 hours. They be like, dang, it's going to take that long? I'm like, yeah. You want it to be nice, or do you want me to rush this process? Because for me, it's not, I don't rush anything. I take my time. And people have literally told me, like, you really can tell the love that's been put in this food. Like, every time I cook something, and my assistant, she'll send out, shout out to my assistant, Yana. She sends out surveys. And literally, I read these surveys, and people are like, wow, this food is amazing. You know that the person, whoever you cooked it, and you took your time with it, and you actually tell that it's made with love. Because I feel like I worked in a restaurant before. I know what it's like. You know what I'm saying? I worked at a black owned restaurant at that. And working in a restaurant is different. You know what I'm saying? It's that different feel. Everybody trying to do their own thing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody trying to add this, everybody trying to do that. I really don't necessarily need to work on a recipe. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, recipes are important for certain people. But for me, I really just, like what everybody say, the spice gods be telling me when to stop. It's not really the spice gods. It's me testing and going and taste it. Every time I go in, I add something,
Mm-hmm.
whip it up, I taste it, and I'll be like, nope, it needs this.
Yeah.
It needs this. You know what I'm saying? So it's about knowing your palate. And that was one of the main things that I learned in culinary school. And I think my favorite class was soup, stocks, and sauces. So
I did enjoy that class. As much as I hate culinary school, I did enjoy that class.
that was my favorite, and I couldn't wait. And I had like one really good instructor, and he was one of those ones where he was like real anal, but he was so proficient in everything that he did. I followed him around all the time. Every class that he taught, I wanted to be in his class.
Mm.
So it got to the point where like I would be like, chef, do you need me to do anything else? Like, what else do you need? And I would be like, one of those, like, they probably called me the brown noser kid or chef or whatever. I didn't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, it was like, it got to Chef Tisha, you're on this. Like, I've been on Fox, not Fox 5, but I was at, we did the Health Expo with Channel 4. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, chef, you're going to be there with me and you're going to be
What
on the stage
channel?
with me.
What channel 4 down there? Because we have different. You know what
I
I'm
think
saying?
it's like NBC. I think it's
Yeah.
NBC. Yeah, I think it was NBC. So we was at the health fair that was down in DC. And then it was snowing, you know what I'm saying? And they were like, shit, come in. And a lot of people didn't show up. So I didn't give a fuck. I was like, shit, man, I've been in the army. I've been stationed.
You
I was
here,
like,
so
I
we
was
gonna make it
stationed in
happen.
like I was like, I was stationed in Korea. You can't tell me nothing about snow. This ain't shit. I'm gonna drive down that motherfucker. I got there. And they were surprised when I showed up. They were like, you really came? I'm like, yes, chef, I'm here. What do you need me to do? And I was always that one. They knew that they could always count on me. I was always there. And I always tell them, I'm here for the mission. Whatever the mission is, I'm going to accomplish that motherfucker and then do what I got to do. And afterwards, I'm going to fucking turn up. You know what I'm saying? Because you already know what happens on Fridays. We go to the bowling alley, have a couple drinks, you know what I'm saying? And we get together with the soldiers and we have a good time, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, I wasn't like one of those regular chefs, you know what I'm saying? It was one of, he felt like, he told me, actually, he was like, you know what? I will work with you in the restaurant any day. I will put you side by side. So when I even got to my externship, like they literally hired me and didn't want me to leave. I put my 2-week notice in quick as shit because I was like, nah, I'm a
This ain't for you.
well-oiled. This ain't for
Yeah.
me because you know what?
Yeah.
I don't work well with discombobulation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like it has, you know how it is when
It
you're in
has
the
to be. It has
military.
to be some way. Yo, I want to talk to you about the military real quick, right? Because I got this shit under the stick, right? Uh, I was in the industry way before I got into the military, and right before I got into the military, I worked at one of the best restaurants, and I joined the military because the health insurance was trash in the restaurant industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I got into the military, and I was so close with my friends from basic training that I didn't want to say that I graduated culinary school.
Mm-hmm.
Retrospect, I should have done that for for some rank, but at the end of the day, I wanted to be with the people that I was with. So I did the AIT all over again, and the AIT in Fort Lee, Virginia, I shine like a motherfucker.
That's where I was at, Fort Lee.
That shit was nothing. Yo, what year you was there in Fort Lee? I see you about to fuck me up again.
Cause I was a quartermaster, so I went in at quartermaster. So that was like I want to say
You was there like 2000, right?
99,
Oh yeah,
like
nah,
99,
yeah.
2000.
I was way ahead of you. But
Yeah.
I get to Fort Lee, and first of all, Fort Lee's a whole vibe, but we're gonna talk about that on the side.
Yo, I definitely got Article 15 in Fort Lee. Sneaking on
Yeah.
to the clubs, bro.
um, shit, I got my second tattoo down there. Anyway, so I get to Fort Lee and I shine. You know what I'm saying? The teacher there saying my name wrong. He calling me Villanueva and shit, but whatever. I shine through there, and then they decide to put me in Fort Campbell, Kentucky. Now you got military standards, and you got Fort Campbell standards. In case you already know, it's a fucking
Different.
problem. It's different, and I got put in the best defect in the whole military. Everything was from scratch. Everything was from scratch. We ain't nothing came out of a box. We cracked eggs at night. We put the potatoes. Every Friday was steak, shrimp, and lobster for these soldiers because it was special forces and
Yeah.
101 airborne. You know what I'm saying? These dudes
Mm-hmm.
come home for 8 months and be gone for like
Yep.
for like damn it 2 years. So I'm going in here. I am going in. I'm shining. I'm talking about I'm making my roast pork. I'm making my mac and cheese. I'm holding it down. I ain't at that time, you know what I'm saying? I came from a place where wearing gloves, as long as you wash your hands, it was a problem.
Right.
It was
Right.
cool. So I have one sergeant was on my ass constantly. And he tells me, "All right, tomorrow, you don't wear them goddamn gloves again, boy. I'm telling you, I'm gonna take you outside and I'm gonna smoke the shit out of you." You know what I'm saying? So I looked at him and said, "Good, Sarge." You know what I'm saying?
Right. All right.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? So, yo, the sergeant, the 3-star and the sergeant major of the fort walk in. After lunch, they still there. Who cooked this roast pork? Yo, Sergeant Phillips came and said, "Private Villamore, they want you outside." I'm like, damn. Damn.
Great rest.
I know. So I get out there getting ready to get smoked. He walked up to me, mean as hell. They both did. It was like private. That was the best roast pork I had in my life. They both gave me a medallion of the Screaming Eagle medallion.
Oh, yeah.
Yo, all I did was this. all I did was this. I was right at that sergeant. I said, "Oh, well, thank you." You know what I mean? Hold that down. Hold that
Facts.
down. Yo, it got to the
Facts.
point where the uh the lead sergeant of the culinary team came to see me because one of the sergeants from the other platoon was trying to
Mm.
put me on.
Yeah.
Check out the bullshit. My squad leader was like, "Nah, Private Lamar ain't ready for that." Oof. Yo,
Wow.
you know how my MOS would have changed completely being part of the
Completely,
culinary team?
yeah. Yeah, you would have been,
I would have been
yeah,
chilling.
yeah. That's fucked up. And but that's what the military is about though. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't want to see you win if they not in it, you know what I'm saying? And that's crazy.
But it fucked me up because you look just like me, bro. You look
Yeah.
just like me. And you know when we in here in this army shit,
Mm-hmm.
the ones that run shit don't look like me and you. So
At all.
you're gonna fuck up on me coming up on a come up, bro. Yo, these the dudes that go cook in the White House and shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right. He was hating, bro.
I was
But
out.
that
I was like, you know what?
but
Fuck this shit.
that shit happens though because like, for me, it was like I was getting ready to go. Like I had made the all army basketball team, right? They told me no, I couldn't go because my unit was getting ready to deploy to Hawaii. And they was like, "You're about to go because you're going to get deployed when you get to Hawaii." I'm like, "This is some bullshit. Like, I really could be playing basketball all over the world, really, and that's what you're going to do, bro?
See,
Like, seriously?"
and that's the shit that I wasn't that 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 I wasn't expecting in the culinary industry when it came to certain color chefs, right?
Yeah,
So I just feel like we just gotta bring each other up more, man. Like
yeah,
really, really. And then I heard your story on Clubhouse, man, and I was like, yeah, I definitely gotta put up. She definitely gotta come on the show, like definitely, because I think that story is inspirational as fuck. You was going through some shit, like that shit ain't
yeah.
no joke, and you know I can't talk about that. We talk about it later, but but you know,
I
I,
mean, whole
I,
time is
I,
crazy.
yes, I went through some shit, and then going through through PTSD, that shit ain't no joke. So the
Yeah,
fact that you got into the culinary field and it really helped you mold, yo,
yeah.
that shows your love for the
Like
field, man.
it really like calmed me down because like at a time in my life where I really, really, really was going like I really was going downhill. Like even though I thought I had my shit together, you know what I'm saying? Like the whole time, like I would get super, super depressed when the wintertime came because like I didn't have jobs, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like if I wasn't like I was one of those people who need to constantly move, you know what I'm saying? Because in the military, you always doing something, you know what I'm saying? You're always moving, you're always doing this, you're always doing that. And so when you became stagnant is when all that shit started to creep in. And I literally would just be at home crying for no reason. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know what was going on with me. So, like, I would just be going in the kitchen. I'd be like, shit, let me just make me something to eat. And I realized that when I made me some food, I would feel a whole lot better. You know what I'm saying? Mentally, spiritually, and physically. And then it was just like, man, like this food just really just lifted my life. And I'm like, dang, like, what if I could just make food like this for other people when they feel down? You know what I'm saying? And when they going through fucked up shit. So literally, when I started doing stuff like that, it was like working and seeing I see homeless veterans out there. I would just literally go out there and just make a whole bunch of food and just give it food away. You know what I'm saying? Um, it didn't even have to be veterans. It could just be I would just go out on the streets. You know what I'm saying? I would even like when I like now like I see people and I would buy shit and like I did like some scouts the other day, right? And I bought like my dumb ass. I go to Restaurant Depot. I'm thinking that I'm only gonna get a pound. Nigga, they talking about some. You gotta buy 3 pounds. I'm like, shit. I'm already here. Fuck it, just give me the 3 pounds. You feel me? So I
Hmm.
cooked whatever I wanted to cook for my content, and then everything else I just gave away. You know what I'm saying? I cooked it, and then I gave it to people that I seen on the street. I could have sold those meals and made money off it. But why? You know what I'm saying? Like I was just like, no, like I'm gonna make sure that these people eat. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I do. You know what I mean? This is what I as a kid, it started as a kid, you know what I'm saying? My parents, we were in Seventh-day Adventist church school and all this other stuff. So it was already something that was embedded in me as a child. So, you know what I'm saying? Then going into the military and then you deploying, you over there, you helping out, you know what I'm saying? Certain things. I know even when I was in Iraq, we would give like the little insurgents or the kids that we see come through the gate and shit. You know, they'd be like,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Chocolate, chocolate. You know what I'm saying? You know how they be. You feel me? Always want some candy or something. But, you know, it dawned on me like, it's something about making other people happy is what really made me happy. It wasn't the money, it wasn't the clothes, it wasn't the shoes, it wasn't the cars, because you already know that's all we had. You feel me? Like every military person know, first thing you do on your car, you get some tint, you get them
Mm-hmm.
speakers, you get
Rams.
them rims. You know what I'm saying? Your shit is
First and
already hooked up. You
15th,
feel me?
baby. First and
You know what I'm
15th,
saying?
goddamn
Like you don't
it.
never, and then we going to the club. We got all the bottles laid out. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? And then the whole drinking, I had stopped drinking. I had like stopped smoking and all that other shit. And it was just like, where am I at right now? I didn't even know who I was. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't know who I was. And I got like super heavy into the gym. I would be in the gym so much, 3 times a day. And I was like, man, I'm trying to eat right. And then like it got to the point where I started to develop a palate. And I hung around this one dude and he was so cool. Like his father was a chef. And I would go to his house. He'd be like, man, my dad about to cooking this nasty shit, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, bro, this shit, do you see this shit? Like
Yeah, you
your
out, right?
dad is a whole entire chef. And the plates look amazing, bro. Like, you know, like this is art. Like, look at the colors, you know what I'm saying? And then it was just like, it dawned on me. I'm like, man, that shit y'all like made me happy. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, damn, that's kind of cool. You know what I mean? So I really was one of those things. Food makes me happy. I know that I can go give me something to eat and I'd be like, damn, I'm happy now. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like to the point where I will travel. I literally look at shows all the time and be like, all right, this is the next state I'm going to because I need to try this restaurant. So it started off being like this big foodie person, and then it got to the point where I'm like, damn, well, I could probably fucking make this shit, and I go home and start making the shit. You know what I'm saying?
And now
And
you
then like,
freestyling, marinating lamb right now.
bro, like it got to the point where like it kind of, and then like in the midst of me starting culinary school, this is what fucked me up, and I was about to quit culinary school because I ended up having to have a knee surgery, and this knee surgery was one of those things where if I couldn't stand up in the kitchen, that they were going to try to kick me out. And
Mm-hmm.
so you know how the GI Bill works. You stop, you can't really start right back up. You know what I'm saying? And then when you start, you had to start all over again, is what they were telling me. I
What?
was like, man, yeah. So I had to appeal. Like, dude, I had to appeal. I had to go to the president of the school. I had to write a letter. You know what I'm saying? And then the president sat down and we had a conversation. I
That's
talked to the
crazy.
president and I told her, you know what I'm saying, about my military career. I told her everything, why I came to school. I was like, this helps my PTSD. You know what I'm saying? I'm in this kitchen because I really need to be here. And she broke down crying in the office. And she was like, I've
I ain't
never
gonna
seen
front.
somebody passionate.
I ain't gonna front, Chef. I'm holding my shit back a little bit right now too, man. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. Ooh, shit. Go ahead,
But it was
continue,
like one
please.
of those things where like because I also did photography, so when they had like events and stuff like that, I would come and I would volunteer to do all the photography for the events, the videos and stuff like that. And they didn't have anybody to do any of that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I was so helpful. Like I was always volunteering. I'd be like, oh, I can do the headshots for the teachers. No worries. What else you need. You know what I'm saying? And then it was like I do it that same day and get it back to them that same night. They were like, dang, like so that is what put me on top. Like they was like, I've never met a student like you. And then they would see the stuff that I did in the community, like while I was in school. Like you remember when they had the government shutdown? So what I
Yes.
did was I put on Facebook. I'm like, hey, do anybody know anybody who need food? Hit me up, let them know, recommend them. So it got to the point where I was, I have it on my page where one of my homeboys, he just started following me and shit. And I was just giving out food and people was telling their stories. And then the radio station from my area, WKYS 93.9, they heard about it. And the lady was like, we want to partner with you from the radio station. So now, mind you, I'm still in school this whole time, bro. Like I'm still in school. So the radio started partnering with me for me, and I was still in school, and it was snowing. And every time, this was right before my birthday. So every day after school, I would not only cook this food the night before, package it up, then I go to school the next day, get off school, go back to my house, pick up the food, and then meet up with the radio station and deliver it to people's houses who had entered entered the names on the radio station.
Damn.
So yeah,
Damn.
and it
You
had
was getting
gotten
you
to that.
you was getting busy.
Yeah, man. Like, and they was just like, couldn't believe like I was doing. My school was like, dang, my school was like, really, you are like one of those students where, you know, we can write about you. You know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
drop a bomb for you. I drop a bomb for you. I was trying the whole time. Now I got my shit
yeah.
together. Continue. Go ahead.
And they was like, they featured me in a couple of like, the things at the school and stuff like that. And they was just like, this is what the model student should be like. Not only are you a honor roll and the president's list student, you're out here doing everything in the community too as well, and you're giving back. Like, and it wasn't, I wasn't just doing it because I wanted to be seen. I was doing it because it was just something to do. And
Yeah.
then one day I got an inbox from on my Instagram from Foreman Mills. Foreman Mills, you know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at this email. I'm like, who the fuck? I say, who the fuck with Foreman Mills is hitting me up, bro? Like, and then they wanted me to. We had a Foreman Mills that was like literally around the corner from my house. And they were getting ready to do a grand opening, and they wanted me to come to be there for the grand opening to share some of my food. So
You getting busy, busy.
yeah, and meantime, I'm still in school, bro. Like, still in school. So I gathered a little team together, and you know what I'm saying, we was out there serving my shrimp and grits. You know what I'm saying, and you either had shrimp or you had like a turkey kielbasa or whatever. And it turned out that the people from the headquarters was there, the big dudes. They came
Big
over there. He was like, one white guy was like, I've never had grits a day in my life. Don't even know what it tastes like.
What? She made you.
Bro.
She
Hey,
made you.
bro. Hey, man, that man gave me a hug, bro. Like, he gave me a hug.
Oh man.
He was like, this is amazing. I've never tasted anything
I'm
like
still
this.
laughing off that. I'm still laughing off that voice. That shit
Hey,
was like, oh my god. Go ahead,
bro,
continue. Go ahead.
he was like, I've never had anything like this. This is amazing. And it turned into, you know what I'm saying, a lifelong partnership with them. You know what I mean? Like, if I wanted to go on Foreman Mills and get something, I really don't have to really pay for it if I didn't want to. But just knowing the people at the top, you know what I'm saying, and building those connections, you know what I'm saying. And the lady who's with the PR, and shout out to Desiree, she still interacts with me every day. You know what I'm saying? Like, I post something, she be like, you got the best shrimp and grits I've ever had in my entire life. She was like, I swear to God. I'd be like,
Yo,
I just be cracking up.
that's like a DMV thing, right? Shrimp and grits, that's big out there.
Yeah, man. And
That's shit,
I
right?
don't even eat seafood, bro. I'm allergic to it. So I don't eat it, but I
I'm allergic
make
to
it all the time.
I'm allergic
Yeah.
to shellfish. I could cook it, but
Yeah, I don't eat that.
oh man, hey, who's this? Who's up in here? All right. So, Chef, let me ask you a question, man. Uh, what's people's biggest misconception about you?
That I'm an asshole.
Really, man?
That's
I
their
think you
biggest.
cool as shit. I think you cool as shit.
Yeah, I think it's because like,
As now, I don't know how you get it in the kitchen, but
yeah, no, I mean because like, all right, like, so I can be very, very cool, but see, like, I think when people first meet me, I'm very like, you know how we are when we go in a situation, and I think it has a lot to do with like our PTSD, and this is why it's okay for me to be in the kitchen and be cool in the kitchen because I'm myself when I'm inside the kitchen. But and if you take me outside the kitchen, it's a little bit. I'm one of
Mhm.
them type of people where, all right, look, you got about good 10 minutes for me. That's all you're gonna get from me, and I'm the fuck out. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to be around people. I don't really want to talk to people. You know what I'm saying? As much as I'm supposed to be a people person, it's just like, all right, cool. I'll speak to you, and then I'm out. You know what I'm saying? I'm only here for networking purposes only, and that's it.
And
But when
deuces.
people see me,
Alright.
they be like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? I don't have time. I don't
Yeah.
wanna do all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't wanna party. I don't wanna
Mhm.
drink with you. I don't wanna do any of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm just ready to go home. You know what I mean? And so that's why people think I'm an asshole, because when they see me, they be like, oh yeah, you think and my bad. It's really not that.
No,
It's
you good. You
me
good. You good.
just being very observative.
Yeah.
It's me being really observative about what's going on around me. I'm really antsy when like I don't like when my like right now I know that I'm closed in this room, but I know that I'm in a safe haven. But if I was anywhere else, I would never have my back to the door. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So when I'm in a kitchen, I have no choice to be where I am. But I'm around food, but I'm around people who love me. You know what I'm saying? It's just like that team. When you in the military, you know you got that team. So you know
Mm.
you got your comrades, and that's how I
Yo,
look at it.
the kitchen is the same shit as a brigade
Yeah.
system. And you know what's
Hmm.
crazy? That you say the shit about the door. When I go somewhere, the first place I look for is the second exit.
Yep.
It's there. It's there, bro. It's just
Yeah. I
there.
don't go in no place that I
It's
can't find the
just
second
there.
exit. If
It's
it don't
just
got another
there.
door, I'm not coming in there, bro. Like that's not it. I'm not gonna do it.
That's
You know.
wild. You,
And like people do look at me and they say, well, like when I'm in the kitchen, I'm because I'm all about business. You know what I'm saying? When I come in the kitchen, like I want to get the mission done. You know what I'm saying? Like if my chef say, here's the list of the shit that got to get done,
you want
I'm
to get
that
it done?
one. I'm that one to be like, all right, y'all, like who doing this? Who doing this? Who are doing this? Like let's break this down. You feel me? Like, and if you get finished first, and you don't got nothing to do, then this is something that you got to do next. I literally will take charge
Mm-hmm.
of that. You know what I'm saying? They be like, dang, you an asshole. You know, I'm like, look, bro, like, fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not being an asshole. I'm just saying when we get done, that means we can fucking leave.
Leave,
Like
yeah.
y'all don't get that. You know what I'm saying? Like when we get done, and that's my military always chiming in. Like, I
I'm
know,
telling you,
man.
it's the same shit because you got privates, which is the cooks, and you got specials, this is lead line cook, and you got, you know what I'm saying, then you got
Hmm.
sergeant, which is a sous chef, you know what I'm saying? Yo, it's the same
It's the
exact
same
shit, bro.
thing.
It's
And
the
that's how
same shit.
I look at everything as a mission, you know what I'm saying? And I'm so mission oriented driven. And when I'm in the kitchen and people see that, they know that I don't come to play. You know what I'm saying? Like for my even with my externship, I went from being the prep chef to working on the line to going to expo to creating programs for the kitchen as an extern. I was
Mm.
like, Sarge, I told my head chef, I was like, Chef, I was like, for some reason, the plates keep coming back. And there's no reason that should be. I was like, there's shit missing off these plates. And it should I said we need to add a second station to double check what's going out. He was like, he looked at me, he was like, the fuck? He was like, how did you see this? I said, because I pay attention to what's going on. He was like, get off fucking saute and bring your ass over here. I'm like, what I do wrong?
Mm.
He was like, nah, you working up here with me. And
Facts.
we did that. And I was just like, I had to make sure that I was doing what I needed to do to make everybody successful. You know what I'm saying? Because if we successful in the kitchen as a whole, we're not one getting bitched at by the fucking owner about having to, you know what I'm saying, charge all these charges off. You know what I'm saying? You're not
Mm-hmm.
getting bitched at by, the front of the house because they come back saying, oh, my plate wrong, da da da. I got tired of hearing that shit because I'm like, I know what the fuck I sent out. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So it got to the point where I was doing stuff
Oh
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
So they
So,
they looked at me as like, damn, she don't need to work back there no more.
yo, so I want to touch base on something you said earlier about being in the kitchen and you feel comfortable, right? Michael P. N. White said some shit in his book, and it made perfect sense to me, man. He said, how do I put this shit down? There we go. He said that the kitchen is full of misfits and thugs or some
Yeah.
shit like that. He said, right? And I kind of take pride with that, man, because this you gotta think about it, right? You got your situation, then you got brothers and sisters that got incarcerated, come out, and the only thing they can do is cook. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
that's why I feel like cooking is a great therapy, man. And people don't understand how being a chef saves lives for people like you and me, and and
Yeah.
and and and, and other people, right? Because, prime example, I keep bringing my man's up, but his story is great. You got to watch his podcast when he was on here. My boy G Perry from London.
Hmm.
My man ended up in a worse
Wasn't
situation.
he just a couple weeks ago, right? Like a
Yeah,
couple days ago? Yeah, I was on here. I watched him
and
with the
he
hat.
ended
Didn't he
up.
have the hat on?
Yeah, no. Yeah, yeah. Did he have a hat on? No. He was bald.
Oh, he had those big. He had those big headphones on though.
Nah, that's P from that's the other show.
Oh,
Nah,
okay, okay,
that was Brian. My boy G Perry was on a few weeks ago, and
okay.
he ended up in the worst situation of his life, locked up, right? And
Mm.
he took classes in prison, came out, and now he's a head chef. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah,
So I feel like the kitchen helps out a lot of people, man. And people need to
yeah,
understand that, man. People need to understand that. Like your situation, you took something negative, made it positive, and now you're doing what you love and you're doing your thing. Yo, Foreman Mills hitting you up to go hold some
yeah,
shit down. Yo, that's
yeah,
fire. That's fire.
yeah. And it's like, to be honest, like I feel like I don't like a lot of people, like my family and my friends, be like, man, you should go on this game show, or you should get a restaurant, you should do this. And all. I don't want to do any of that, to be honest with you. I don't. Like, I really just want to go out and do the best that I can do. You know what I'm saying? And then working in private, intimate settings. And then because now I had that freedom to go deal with, being go do stuff for the House of Ruth, the DC. You know what I'm saying? And go
Mm-hmm.
feed those ladies in there that nobody's taking care of. You know what I'm saying? I have a chance to link up with purses with a purpose, where they get purses and they just put all kinds of sanitary items in there, and I link with them and I bring snacks and food and all that other stuff, and we pass it out. You know what I mean? It takes it takes a different kind of person to give that type of love without wanting to receive anything back. You know what I'm saying? So when I'm in the kitchen, it's like cool. It's cool working in a restaurant and getting those type of accolades, but I don't care about those type of accolades because I got all the accolades I want on my wall. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Like those accolades I got coins, I got awards, all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I met president, I've been to the White House, you know what I'm saying? I met Barack, you know what I mean? I've been there. I got pictures and shit, but that does not move me. What moves me is being in my community, taking care of those who cannot take care of themselves. And so when people say, "Oh, well, you should do this and you should do that," well, why don't you do it? Because that's what you want to do. Why don't you do it? Because that's not what I want to do. I tell you right now, if I won $1 million, or if I hit the lottery, you know what that money will go to? It will strictly go to going to go feed the homeless, going to go get somebody off the street. Because guess what? That makes them smile. That makes me smile.
Big
So
facts. Yo,
you
we
know what I'm
need more.
saying?
Wrong one. We need more people like you, man, guys. We need more people like you, man.
And,
Listen, man.
and I just feel like sometimes like we lose ourselves. But when you're in the kitchen, you don't never lose yourself. You find yourself. You find yourself in every dish that you do. You find yourself in everything that you create. You find yourself in that deep freezer. You know what I'm saying? You're looking for new things to get to the next level. You know what I'm saying? You're always constant. Like literally, like after I had my surgery, bro, I thought I was gonna fucking die, bro. Like I couldn't do nothing. My nephew was like, "Well, why don't you stream?" I'm like, "Stream, bro? I don't play no damn video games like that. Like I'm not that good." You know what I'm saying? So like I do like 2K at Madden, you know what I mean? So what he's like, no, he said you're gonna stream your cooking show. You're gonna cook on stream, and I ain't know nothing about it. I'm like, all right, so he helped me. He showed me, and then now I have a whole different, you know what I'm saying, situation where I get on Twitch, I do my cooking shows. Now gamers get to come watch me cook food. They
Mm.
donate to my channel, and when they donate to my channel, I take that money and donate it to, you know what I'm saying, me going out to do something for the homeless. You know
I
what I'm
getting
saying?
fancy though. You out here
You feel
getting
me?
it, man. You
So,
getting
you
it
know what I'm
from
saying?
every direction you can. You getting it. You getting it. Like
Because
that shit
like
is wild.
yeah, when you get into that depressive state, you have to find your way out. And I got tired of being depressed. You know what I'm saying? I got tired, and I realized that in order for me not to be depressed, for me not to go down to the hole, because once you're in the hole, it's like you can't just go back to where you was at. You know what I'm saying? It's like you start from fucking ground zero all over again. You can't just, oh, I was depressed today. Now me go back. Now I'm happy again. No, you don't. You fucking start back at ground zero. Yeah, you gotta crawl your way ass back up. So I had to figure a way to crawl out the hole again. You know what I'm saying? And I realized being in the kitchen helped me crawl faster than just doing anything else. So that was really by the grace of God. Was like, God, like, look, you really good at this. So capitalize on it. And it was just like, all right, well, what do I do? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm lost in the sauce right now. No, you don't have to be lost because you're in the kitchen. You can never be lost in the kitchen. You
Everything
can never be lost.
you worked hard for your shit, and everything found you, man. And that's beautiful. I'm telling you right now, all these accolades you have, I know you act like it's not big. I mean, like you don't want them, but you got them, and you have to embrace it. You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
I embrace it, man. But it's just like, I look at it like this. Had I not had to go through certain things to be here, I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? Because I really,
Yeah.
honestly, probably should have been dead. And that's on real. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
should have been, could have been, and all that. But this keeps me alive.
Mm. Ladies
Keeps
and
you alive.
gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that was Chef
Don't
T in
cry,
the
don't
building.
cry, don't cry, don't cry, don't cry.
I'm
Don't
not
cry,
gonna
don't
do it.
cry.
I'm not gonna
We're
do it.
not we're
You know
not
what I'm
gonna cry
saying?
today. We're not gonna cry. We're not gonna cry.
Hey, Chef, listen, thank you so much for taking time and talking to me. Listen, we gonna link up again.
Oh yeah.
It looks like I'm gonna have to find my way down to the DMV because I
Sure,
got my
I
man,
come up there
I got
too.
my man, I got my man PJ down there. You know what I'm saying? I gotta check out Chef JR spot. I'm gonna have to make
Yeah.
my way down there, man.
There's a lot of spots out here, man. It's a lot of spots out here. A lot of good restaurants that's getting ready to come up, and like they just not really starting up. So, in this area, like I said, Chocolate City is one of those places. Like right now on 8th Street, there's so many black restaurants coming up, line, and that's it's crazy, man. And it's like I support all the chefs down here. It don't matter, you know what I'm saying? Who you are, what you got going on. If you got a restaurant, you got some food, man, I'm definitely gonna be there. I see people stuff on TikTok, I'll be like, oh, I'm going there. You know what I'm saying? And what what better way to I promote everybody in my stories. I don't lack for nothing. You know what I'm saying? You're not
Mm,
taking away from my business. You're not
mm,
I promote everybody. If you got something that you
mm.
want me to promote, I put that shit in
We
my
need
story.
more
I
of
don't
that.
have no
That's
problem.
how
You know
I
what I'm
get down. That's
saying?
how I get down. We need more of that. We need more of
Yeah,
that.
like I do that because who else is gonna help us but us? You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Nobody else is gonna help you unless it's one of us. And I'm the main person to be like, dog, what do you need to be promoted? Tell me what you need. Like, if you don't tell me what you need, then I can't help you. But I'm still gonna promote your shit. I get people that be like, damn, you really just posting my shit in your page? Yeah, I'm not losing no fucking business over it.
Mm.
I'm not losing no
Facts.
money by putting your
Facts.
shit up there. Like, I'm going to, and I feel like this. If I put your stuff in my story, that shit is gonna go ham because guess what? I might got 10 followers that might see that shit and 7 of them gonna buy that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I just promoted the I went to I can't even say the lady name right, but La Tierras. I seen them on TikTok and they got the best burrito, quesadillas and tacos and pupusas. Bro, I seen them on TikTok. I instantly inboxed the lady because they always sold out. So I inboxed the lady. Her name is Lupe, her and her sister from El Salvador. We get to talking in the inbox. I was like, I said, I've been waiting 5 minutes. I put all these damn numbers. I like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like, all these numbers. I said, this is how many weeks I've been waiting to eat your food. She started laughing. She was like, go ahead and order right now. She's like, I'm gonna open it up right now so you can go order first. I'm like, bet. So I ordered my food. I got to meet her the same day. We had a nice conversation. I put her on my page, my main page. You know how many people hit me up and was like, dang, like I just went to that joint. 17 people.
Fire.
You know
Fire.
what I'm saying? So what does that do for
Fire.
me? It doesn't do anything for me, but it helps me to be able to show people that, first of all, our people. You understand what I'm saying? Our
Mhm.
people. Black, brown, yellow, whatever. These are our people, you know what I'm saying, who don't get promoted all the time. It brings more traffic to your page, you know what I'm saying? And it don't matter if it's 1 or 2 people. I don't care. I
It's
don't
better.
care if 1 or 2 people see it.
Two more. It's one more. It's two more. It's three more. It's four more. Whatever it
Bro,
is,
like
man.
I'm for the culture, you know what I'm saying? And the culture is being able to promote people, being able to be there for people. And I'm so much around so many people who do the same, you know what I'm saying? Like I got a lot of friends that do good things in the community. And so it's like, dang, I just want to be one of those people that do good in the community. Like that is my story. And I don't want nobody else to tell my story but me. You know what I'm saying? You can't. Can't nobody sit here and tell you no fucked up shit about me. You know what I'm saying? If they got a fucked up shit story to tell them about me, everybody else gonna look at you be like,
You lying.
we know damn well your ass lying because we know what type of person she is. You know what I'm saying? Everybody know what type of person I am. You meet me, I'm very straightforward. I'm just like this book. You can open it up, you know what the fuck it say because that shit's in black and white. I don't change for nobody on this app, on none of these apps. I'm the same person on here, off here. You know what I'm saying? If you ask me to do something, I will be there 20 minutes prior. You know what I'm saying? You already know how we grow. And if you need me after that, I'll stay after that. I'll be the first one to volunteer. I'll be like, what do you need? And that's the type of person I am. And I believe in that. I've always been that type of person all my life because my parents always told me, like, if you can't depend on yourself, who else will?
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So
Big
I'm
fact.
just one of those people. Like, I'm a dependable person. I'm always gonna be that person. That's what I want to live. I want to live my life like that, bro. Like, I want to live my life. I want to have a legacy to tell to everybody, bro. Like, my legacy gonna state she was always there, she was always real, and she always did what she said she was gonna do. And
Mm.
that's that. Cause you don't
Mm.
need to put me on no fucking t-shirt. I don't need no wings. I don't need none of that shit, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Because everything you see about me, all you gotta do is Google. I tell people right now, you don't know me, Google my name. Google my name. You see everything you need to know about me through Google. I don't, and then it's not even saying like trying to be one of those like, oh, you need to, you know who
Nah,
I
nah,
am.
nah. Listen,
It's no,
listen,
I'm
listen.
saying, but that's what I
Throughout
tell
this whole
people. It's not that.
conversation, you was humble as shit. Throughout this whole conversation. So don't listen, girl. You
That's
gotta put
why.
on. You
That's
got
why I be
when you
like,
gotta when you gotta put on. You gotta put on. Goddamn it!
like
You gotta let motherfuckers know. You gotta let
it'd be
motherfuckers
crazy because like my family, like they never knew like how big it was until they started hearing my name on the radio. They be like, my brother-in-law was like, dang, I just heard Mental Mills on the radio station. Like, what's going on? He called me. I'm like, bro, for real? Like, I didn't know. You know what I'm saying? I was
know.
out donating coats. You know what I'm saying? I went to Foreman Mills and used my discount to get a whole bunch of coats to give it to the kids. You feel what I'm saying? So it was
Mm.
like, shit like that. Like, oh, my uncle was like, my uncle is 90, I think he's 98 now. And he was like, yeah, we happen to be watching HBO and we seen you on a series in HBO. I'm like, yeah, I did a series in HBO about soldiers with PTSD. And he was like, you're really famous. I'm like, Uncle, you was in the military too. You know what I'm saying? My whole family.
That's not fame. That's you being brave talking about it. Though,
Yeah.
you see what I'm saying?
Because a lot of
It's
people don't want to talk about it, man. You know what I'm saying? Because this is the thing, and I'm gonna leave it at this, and that's all I'm gonna say. Depression is one of those things that a lot of us would never talk about. I secretly killed myself probably a million times in my mind. I never went through with it physically, but mentally, I killed myself over and over and over again. The only reason I stayed alive was because it was people who believed in me and people who knew who I was and what the type of person I was and love that was shown to me around me is what made me whole. And it wasn't really my immediate family that was the ones that were showing me that love. The people that were showing me that love was my military family. And I can tell you right now, me and you will be the best of friends. You know why? Because we have a military connection.
mm.
And my friends that I've been friends with from fucking second grade don't even have that relationship with me. I click more with a person that's in the military than I click with anybody else. Because you know why? Because you've been where I've been. You know what I know. It's certain things we would never talk about. We would never discuss with anybody else. There's things I would tell you that I could never tell my lover. You know what I'm saying? There's things that I can tell you that I'd never tell my parents, my sisters, my brothers. They would never know that. You know why? Because they would never understand that. One of the things that asked me when I first got back from Iraq at my family reunion, cousin, how many people you killed? I was like, what? That hurt me so bad.
Yeah, you
And it
fucked
was
me up
like,
right now, bro.
it hurt me. Like, like, damn, like, that's what you think? Like, is that the first thing you ask me? Not how you doing? I love you. I miss you. So it was times where I could have been dead. I should have been dead. But it's people like you and our other buddies, our other battle buddies, is what kept me in high spirits. And that's how I feel about the chefs that I work with, which is why I tend to work with so many chefs. I'd be like, man, can I work with you? Can I work underneath you? You got something that you need to be done? You need help? Because I'm always learning. I'm always around people. I'm like, dang, like, you really like that in the kitchen. I want to learn how to do that. I don't care about your recipes. I can give a fuck less about a recipe. I learned skill sets. I learned how to maneuver through certain situations. You know what I'm saying? So for me being in the kitchen, bro, it's like being back in Iraq, being in the gym with my soldiers, working out with them, praying with them, laughing with them. That's what the kitchen is about. It's the camaraderie, what I'm here for. You know what I'm saying? So when I work with people, that's what it be about. I don't give a fuck about being famous. I don't care about that. That shit don't move me. That shit don't pay me. You know what I'm saying? I don't care about being a celebrity chef or none of that shit, bro. Like, cause them motherfuckers, I done worked with celebrities before. My whole photography career, I done worked with, been in the BET Awards. I done cooked at the BET Awards with a celebrity chef before. Matter of fact, as soon as I graduated, when I walked across the stage, got on a plane, flew to Atlanta, went to my family reunion. 2 days later, I was at the BET Awards in California, working in the VIP lounge, cooking with a celebrity chef. That shit don't move me. What moves me is being next to a motherfucker that's been in jail for 17 years and just getting out. And this motherfucker just happy to be on a fry machine because he ain't got to fucking be behind the cell block. You know what I'm saying? And he got a story to tell, and we like this. We locked in. We in that motherfucker jamming like, hey, yo, let's get this shit done. You know what I'm saying? It's time. You know what I mean? And what's at the end of the day? We go outside, we having a good fucking time, hug each other, and we be out. See you tomorrow, bro. Love you, bro. That's what I look for. That's the love I want. It ain't this, and it ain't this. It's this. And not many people got this. That's why they fucked up here. That's why they can never make it. They think they made it. That's why they be fucking themselves over and be killing themselves. You know what I'm saying? Because the kitchen is the hardest place to be. A lot of people won't never make it in the kitchen. A lot of people don't make it in the restaurant because they not mentally there. You have to be mentally tough. And a military person, somebody been in jail, they tough. They tough up here because guess what? We've been brainwashed to do everything they tell us to do. And we gonna do that shit. You know why? Because we like, fuck it. I'm just trying to get this shit done so I can go home.
Get the fuck home.
That's exactly what it is. Because you there for a whole nother mission. That's what makes the best chef. Because of their mission. What's your mission when you come through here? Anybody that work with me, I be like, what's your mission? Why you want to work with me? People ask me, can you be my mentor for what? What you want me to be your mentor for? I'm probably not the one you want to be mentored by. Because I'm going to cut your ass the fuck out. We about to go, you going to be out there serving the crackheads and some more shit. You feel me? You not about to be, you know what I'm saying? They be thinking, oh, you be working with the superstars. We ain't about to be doing that. We about to be on the street giving out food.
About to go on the street feeding homeless real quick. You get down with that first, then we'll talk. Hey, yo, Chef, listen, man. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for sharing your story, man.
Nah, man, I appreciate being here, bro. You know, you already know when we see each other, man. I need a big ass hug. We get some love and go get some food. You already know what time it is.
Hey, Chef, listen,
we ain't doing no push-ups though.
Nah, no half-price face over here. No half-price face over here.
Nah, man. No,
hey,
man.
Yo, Chef, listen, man. Honestly, all jokes aside, thank you for sharing your story. You fucked me up a little bit. I ain't gonna hold you. You fucked me up a little bit over here. But listen, we're gonna end it with some good vibes. You know what I'm saying? And are you a hip hop fan?
Definitely.
All right, you know you gotta jam out to my theme music, man.
Let's
All
go.
right,
Let's go.
all right.
Play that thing.
In the
Oh,
kitchen with the sauce, kitchen with the sauce. Whip it, whip it, whip
I
it,
gotta start a
sauce.
fucking TikTok
hey,
with this shit. God damn.
you need to.
With the sauce.
Send me this so I can do my TikTok
At the
to it.
kitchen with the sauce,
Word.
with the sauce. In the kitchen with the sauce, kitchen with the
Hey,
sauce. With the sauce. My Texas chicken with my sauce, chicken with the sauce. Let's on them with the sauce, and on them with the sauce.
Ladies and gentlemen,
there that goes.
that was Chef T. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, thank you,
Man,
thank you,
you
thank you.
already know, Battle. You already know what time it is.
Stay safe, stay positive.
I'm there. I'm there if you need me. Anything you need. You know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
vice
I'm already a
versa.
phone call away, bro.
Vice versa. Vice versa. Stay safe.
All right, love you, man.
Love you too, man.
Peace.
Peace out.